CBS News has obtained a list of the 238 Venezuelan men the Trump administration recently deported to El Salvador. Now, the administration has said it carefully vetted each of the individuals to verify they are connected to a notorious Venezuelan gang, although relatives of some of the deportees have disputed that. Now, President Trump invoked a centuries-old wartime law called the Alien Enemies Act to deport 137 of the men. The administration says the other 101 were deported under regular immigration procedures. 23 Salvadorian men were also deported for alleged ties to a different gang, MS-13. A federal judge had asked the Justice Department to provide more details on the deportation flights by noon Thursday. The DOJ did submit a court filing after the deadline, but the judge says much of the information in that filing was already known and called it, quote, woefully insufficient. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez joins us now. You've been all over this, so let's start with what we're learning about some of these men who've been deported to El Salvador.
Well, just to level set, Kelly, the Trump administration has provided very few details about the deportation flights to El Salvador over the weekend, including to the public and including to the federal judge that is now overseeing the legality of these deportations that were justified under a wartime authority that you just cited back from 1798.
Yeah, you've actually provided more information than they have.
Well, what we have provided now to the public is the entire list of names of everyone from Venezuela who was deported to El Salvador and who is now imprisoned in a maximum security prison there that was set up by that government in that Central American country as part of a larger crackdown on gangs and crime. We are still investigating every individual case, but this is what we know. We know that the administration is saying that some of these deportees have criminal records in the U.S., but many do not. Many are migrants who are in the country illegally or were in the country illegally and were deported because of those civil immigration violations. But everyone who is from Venezuela is being accused by the administration of being part of Tren de Aragua, that notorious transnational gang. But we are hearing a lot of conflicting information on that front as well from lawyers and relatives of those who were deported who say that their loved ones are innocent, that they are not part of gangs, and that the only reason that they were identified as gang members is because they're Venezuelan, they're young, they're men, and many of them have tattoos.
Now,
of course, the administration disputes that.
Just to follow up on something that you just said, you know, you're in the process of investigating. Some of the folks, have you found that were deported do have criminal records?
Yes, that is correct. Okay. Yeah, and we have verified that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. No, it's important context. I mean, the administration says it was confident that everyone deported to El Salvador is affiliated with the gang.
That's right.
How would they have? What methods would they have used to verify that?
According to one court declaration, ICE uses a variety of techniques to identify suspected members of gangs, including Tren de Aragua. That could be social media, tattoos, yes, but it could also be crimes that are related to gang activity or interviews with former or current gang members and also victims of the alleged gang members. So the law enforcement techniques are comprehensive and wide, according to ICE. But again, many of the families say that their relatives have a clean criminal record and that the only reason they were identified as potential gang members is because of tattoos or in some cases what they would call mere speculation.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many differing reports and conflicting stories. It is going to take a long time to verify all of that.
And what I should underscore is that the administration under this wartime authority actually did not require to convict or charge that person criminally to send them to El Salvador. They only had to identify that person as a Venezuelan national who was in the country illegally, who was 14 or older, and who allegedly was part of a gang. So no criminal conviction or even immigration proceeding was required for that deportation under this wartime authority that now the judge has scaled back.
So the judge has set a new deadline for the government to submit a sworn declaration that would invoke the state's secret privilege. So what's that and what's the path forward here?
Well, the judge in federal district court in Washington, D.C., overseeing this case is clearly not happy with the Justice Department and the details or the lack thereof that they have provided in this case. He believes that the administration ignored his oral directive to turn back planes over the weekend when he issued that oral directive during a hearing, and he wants more information on that front. And he also wants a cabinet-level official to sign a sworn declaration as to whether or not they will actually invoke those state privilege, state secrets privilege.
Yes.
Right. So we'll see what the Justice Department actually says and whether or not they actually invoke the state secret privilege. But we'll find out soon enough, I guess.
And I know you will be on it as this
Yeah.
case develops. Camila Montoyo Gavez, thank you so much
Thanks,
for your
Kelly.
time. And you can visit CBSNews.com to read Camila's exclusive reporting and see the full list of Venezuelan deportees.